Mo ti yẹ lọ́wọ́ fọ́tò oríṣiríṣi.
Life and Times of Monsurat Ipesa Balogun, registered pharmacist, biography, birth and early life. Monsurat Shabi Ipesa Balogun ní Raji Abaja was born to the family of Alhaji Muibi Olalere Raji Abaja and Alhaja Silifatu Raji Abaja ní Alabi. December 17th, 1917 Gusau, present-day Zamfara State, Nigeria. Her father was an indigene of Ibadan in Akinyele local government area, Oyo State, Nigeria, while the mother hails from Iporo Shodeke, Abeokuta, Ogun State, Nigeria. Due to the nature of her father's job being a career businessman and the regional manager John Oat Company Nigeria Limited, as a result, they were residents in northwestern Nigeria as at the time of her birth, Gusau to be precise. Consequently, it was always mobile, depending on where he was posted to. Thus, wherever he moved to, his family also moved with him. On the other hand, her mother was a trader and a very dedicated and supportive housewife, who made sure the children were brought up with sound moral values and strict discipline. Monsurat was the third child among 11 siblings. Expectedly, she grew up in a home where love, discipline, hard work, kind-heartedness, resourcefulness, and spiritual uprightness were the norm. So she imbibed those values, our education. The young Monsurat was focused and very industrious. She attended Zion African Church Primary School, Alagba, Yanopaja, Lagos, and for secondary school education, Government College Agege, Lagos State. Being a brilliant student, she passed the secondary school leaving certificate examination with WAEC and flying colors. Thereafter, she secured admission into the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University, ABU Zaria, Kaduna State, Nigeria in 1989 to study pharmacy. She graduated in 1996 with BSc. Her internship was done at Medville Pharmacy, Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos, where she displayed exceptional managerial skills. Subsequently, she served her nation Nigeria in the mandatory one-year National Youth Service Corps program, NYSC, at Ikeja General Hospital, now Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, last at Ikeja, Lagos in 1997. Monsurat was a committed and devout Muslim whose zeal for Allah and Islamic religion inductions was real, passionate and very intense. She was a deeply spiritual and conscientious lady. Her life was like that of an open book, flipped open for all to read and emulate. Thus she conducted and comported herself with dignity, self-worth and respect for others as admonished by the Holy Quran. There are some of the attributes that attracted her to her husband, who did not waste a minute after a casual introduction by his late friend Usaki Adewale Sanusi to stoke up a relationship with her. The rest, as they say, is history. Hafiz Ipesa Balogun bid farewell to bachelorhood and got married to Monsurat on 11th of November 1993 and are blessed with 4 lovely children, Alimat, Ahmed, Azim and Amzat. She's a caring friend, confident, wife, mother, sister, and daughter to her husband. She will be missed a lot, but we cannot question Allah. Monsurat was very hardworking, kind-hearted, selfless, conscientious, and supportive. She was very supportive of her husband's ambitions and adventures, be it in his profession as a licensed aircraft maintenance engineer, in business, and indeed in politics. Nonetheless, if she had a way, she would have preferred her husband stay clear of politics. Monsurat supported her husband with prayers, supported him morally and financially. She was the type that would rather stay at the background and make things happen, and indeed she made a lot of things happen seamlessly.
آلهة إن يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغن عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون.
Our career, or the completion of a National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) program, Monsurat with her two children, Alimat and Ahmed, emigrated to the United States of America in 1997 to join her husband, who was resident in the US then. This was after she had obtained a license from the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria (PCN) to practice as a pharmacist-chemist. While in the United States of America, she was busy taking care of her children as a full-time housewife as well as preparing for job opportunities. She studied at home and passed her first attempt, the Foreign Pharmacy Graduate Equivalency Examinations (FPGEE), conducted by the United States National Association of Boards of Pharmacy (NAPB), to convert her pharmacy degree so she could practice as a pharmacist in the US. She thereafter studied at home again and also passed pharmacy law for state of Indiana, following which she obtained a pharmacy license on 9th February 2000. The license was issued by Indiana Board of Pharmacy to enable her practice. On the strength of this, she took up employment with Kroger Food Stores and Pharmacy, located in the state of Indiana and several states of America. She distinguished herself as a committed and dedicated staff. Her commitment to duty and the clients was faultless. She was a very principled, detailed, and due diligence-prone person. If it is not legal, acceptable, and within the requirements of pharmaceutical practice, Monsurat would not be a part of such undertaking. No wonder she rose to the peak as pharmacy manager. She was one of those ladies who would rather speak less, but do more. You could bank on her word. If Monsurat ever made a promise to you, know it for sure that she would fulfill it. Wherever she walked, she displayed the highest proportion of professionalism, integrity, and excellence. She was an admirable and resourceful person who would rather stand for the right thing to be done at all times than bend to the rules. She was loved by the management and her colleagues. Letters of commendation and salary raise abound as testament to this fact.
أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم.
One thing Monsurat held very dear to her heart during her lifetime was her undying passion to build the befitting place of worship for Allah, a mosque. She dreamt of it, prayed for it, and worked for it, hoping with great expectation for it to come to reality soon. Fortunately, she had started the project before she was called home. Worthy of note is the fact that she was not even concerned about a building house for herself. Of course, she had no personal house of hers, as she lived with her family in a house owned virtually by the bank, but deemed it fit to build one for Allah. Her desire to accomplish this is an offshoot of the foundation she received while growing up, and her love for a society where love permeates and binds people together in spite of their race, sex, and religious affinity. To Monsurat, the mosque would not just serve as a place of worship or a place of prayer, but a place of moral and spiritual purification, a place of learning and a place of great spiritual influence, empowerment, and realignment with Allah.
ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله.
Monsurat was a rare gem, an inestimable jewel of unquantifiable value, a kind-hearted, loving and generous lady. This is how our younger sister, Mrs. Abidemi Zainab Suleiman, described her. Meanwhile, one of our younger brothers too, Lukman Raji Abaja, whose experiential understanding of Monsurat is from another angle, says she was a multi-talented, selfless, ready to help, detailed, bold and calm lady. She practiced what is called empathy by substitution in carrying out her acts of kindness. She was a philanthropist to the core. There were Muslim clerics who were on her payroll. She gave to them not because they asked, but because she made it a rule to ensure that those who are saddled with responsibility of spiritual leadership are not lacking in any way. She gave to people not expecting anything in return. She did, knowing it was commanded by Allah and also out of generosity, ensuring that bags of rice and other food items were delivered to the indigents and those who needed assistance before, during and after any Muslim celebration back at home in Nigeria. A beneficiary of her benevolence who received the gift of a GSM handset when it was first introduced to Nigeria in 2001 lamented her demise on hearing she had passed on. Who will be helping me now? Beyond the known gift, what further help she probably had provided was between her and Allah. Monsurat made a great impact on so many lives. Monsurat believed in the axiom, the family that bonds together sticks together. Little wonder she was a catalyst for strong, united and cohesive family, be it from a maiden home or that of a matrimonial home. She connected with everybody. As Lukman, her younger brother, corroborated, for instance, during the 1989 Structural Adjustment Program SAP debate that elicited nationwide labor unrest strike in Nigeria. I was in secondary school class 3 then, and there was this stampede caused by this sudden unannouncement and enforcement. I almost lost my life as I was trampled on by hundreds of students trying to flee the Ulabalu. I literally passed out. I didn't return home as expected. I lay down on the floor for hours, bruised and traumatized. My sister Monsurat sensed that something was wrong far away in our house. When dusk was setting in, her intuition, love and empathy sent her to rescue me. She carried me on her back from that spot where I was all the way home. That is how amazing she was. She loved everyone with unconditional love, the same way she loved her children, stood by them and brought them up well. She was a pillar of support to her husband as well as her in-laws. She was a fulcrum upon which the united home was built, and we love and miss her so much. Whatever has a beginning surely does have an end. When that end will come, no man can tell, except his maker. For Monsurat, like all mortals, it happened March 15, 2019 after an ailment. An ailment she defied and fought so hard to overcome. When her doctors announced that she had only 10 days to live, she took it calmly with prayers in her lips, smiling cheerfully and comforting those who were weeping for her. Instead, she was concerned about life hereafter in paradise with Allah. She wanted to put everything about her in order since the alarm had sounded. This amazed Ahmed Al-Hamin, the Imam and Director of Religious Program, Indianapolis Muslim Community Association, IMCA, who she always consulted on deep spiritual insights concerning Islamic faith. Jointly prayed fervently to Allah, and like the Imam declared, such audacious courage in the face of death was very rare. Miraculously, she lived 7 months and 10 days before she passed on. On the threshold of death, Alice did not cease from offering prayers to Allah. Monsurat's life is an encouragement and an inspiration to all Muslims and non-Muslims alike. She loved and fought hard to live more. Perhaps more of life here on earth was probably far less important in the reckoning of her preordained time. At gallant fight, like a family friend put it, was courageous, triumph over death rather than surrender to it. It was recognition and acknowledgement of supremacy of Allah and submission to Him rather than the defeat of death. Therefore, self-pity was completely deleted from her attitude. Appreciation and acts of thanksgiving to Allah were the aura that she wore as a countenance. Sorrow and lamentation were discordant tunes she wouldn't sing. Instead, she sang the praises of Allah, smiling all the way to meet her Creator without fear, without dread, but with beatific peace and blissful joy. She seemed grateful to Allah for His mercies and kindness to her, or so it seemed, and like a flash, it all froze. That was her bye-bye, this time without a wave of the hand, but with a candid knowledge of the destination ahead and the conscious assurance that those behind are safe in Allah's hands. Monsurat made indelible marks on the sand of time. She made great impact on the lives of everyone she ever had interface with. She connected with people irrespective of their race or sex. She loved, encouraged and cheered people on with her charming smiles. She reached out to those who didn't have and put right those who were on the wrong path. She was a loving and caring mother to her children, a darling wife to her husband, a pillar of support to her mother, a dependable sister to her siblings, and a great ally to her friends and colleagues. Above all, Monsurat was Allah's pilgrim. She loved Allah passionately and was very careful to live and abide by the injunctions of Allah. That was why she went all the way to make sure Allah had the place of worship here on earth to her credit. Sad as her home core may have been, but it is gratifying to know that she lived a rich and purposeful life worthy of emulation. We miss her comforting smiles, her soothing words of encouragement. We miss her generosity, love for all and commitment to Allah. But we know that Allah knows best. Our prayer is that Almighty Allah grants Monsurat Ipesa Balogun our Jannah Firdaus. Rest eternally, the lady with a heart of gold. Rest eternally. Survived by mother, her husband, children, brothers and sisters, her cousins, nephews, nieces, family members and friends.
يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون.
Gbogbo tó bá ti dé kágbà ọba òfò